We're actually a pretty goofy bunch, but we know how to be mature.
It can be quite competitive. They keep up with who can sing the high note, who can sing the low note, who sings this phrase, who can hold their breath the longest. You know, we sometimes say that choir is a contact sport because we take our singing seriously.
There are lots of choirs in the world that can sing beautifully, but there are not a lot of boys' choirs that can do what I think the Texas Boys Choir does.
With all the different types of voices and they're all combined, and you just get this amazing sound that I don't think you would get anywhere else.
Music can speak something that words can't express by themselves, and silence just doesn't do it. Music can fill that void.
We want them to sing as their children. We want them to sing when they're middle schoolers, high schoolers. We want them to have a whole lifetime of musical enjoyment. What we do is unique. There are probably 3 or 4 other SATB choirs in the United States, but as far as I know, we're the only ones that do practice every day together, learning 40 to 50 pieces a year from memory, and structure our repertoire as we do. For a boy to be accepted in our program, we are a charter school. The boys all attend Fort Worth Academy of Fine Arts. And when they're in our program, I say, I'm looking for 3 areas. I'm looking for your academic area, because in my experience, boys that can maintain a B average or better are very successful in our program. Those that struggle more with academics, they struggle with being in the program because it is over and above everything else they do in life.
Not everybody in this school is going to make their living in the arts, and they have to be able to compete with every other student applying to the universities or whatever, so their academics have to be equally as strong.
But what I'm looking for is that child that can be focused in a rehearsal setting, that child that can get along with his friends, and then finally the music skills. I'm looking for those boys that have the chops to sing scales, to sing multi-part music, and have the wherewithal to rehearse for 2 periods every day, or as we did today, record for 4 hours straight.
They aren't just other guys that you sing with. They're like, you get really close to them and they're more like your brother.
You practice every day in a room with 4th graders up to seniors in high school. And we're all just a big giant family.
This is the most fun that I've had ever. I mean, I get to hang out with my friends, I get to go on trips, I get to sing, and it's fun.
These guys genuinely like each other, and you can tell that when you work with them.
A lot of the guys, especially for me, I've never had a brother before, and in this choir, most of the gentlemen in the choir they treat me like a brother, and I try to treat them like a brother.
We always know that we're there for each other, even though we might be picking on another person. We're like, oh, I know he's still my bro, it's all good.
The other thing that we do in the boy choir is we have the older boys mentor the younger boys. And so they are expected, as they get older and more mature in the choir, they know what's going on and what's expected. They help remind the younger ones, when they're out of line, when they're doing well. These are just things that are part of that tradition.
Like if one of us is struggling with some of the music, the other, 3 or 4 or dozen guys will come and help that one person out till they understand their part.
Others have set the path to get them where it is. It's their turn to keep it going and then prepare for those that follow.
I'm really happiest when I'm on stage with this choir performing. It's brilliant. There's nothing else like it.
Well, I just think it brings something very special to their lives, that many of them know that singing is very important to them. And I want all boys, you know, to know that it's okay to do that, and that it's a very special thing that they have, and that they can share it with others. And I think that's important.
Being in the boy choir has been one of, if not the most rewarding experience of my life.
We're molding people into men, and we're bringing arts back into our community, and I think that's a pretty cool thing.
After I graduate high school, I want to be a computer engineer.
I am going to hopefully become a music ed teacher.
I'm kind of thinking psychologist, but music seems pretty cool too.
In 10 years, I hope to be an orchestral conductor, actually. So I hope to, or a teacher at a university somewhere.
I mean, I'm still young, I have time, I think.
TBC also teaches you how to focus, how to be disciplined, and it teaches you life lessons that you never forget.
Yeah. You learn how to actually give your all into something, and now you don't just give up on one thing. You have to keep going and know that there are people that will help you, and that's all your friends in TBC.
Jericho,
And, you know, we've had boys that come from broken homes, boys that have lost their dads or a parent, a mother, whatever, and I think it provides a base of support for them.
My dad died of his chemotherapy treatment when I was in 4th grade. So like I was gonna try to have to raise myself or something, but then I got into TBC and that taught me a lot of the skills that I needed to learn, and I'm pretty sure he would have taught me something pretty similar.
At my old school, I was having a lot of trouble and being bullied for my height and all that type of stuff. And when I came here, I was afraid that maybe it might not get any better, but it actually got much better. And everybody here is just really nice, and I'm just glad I came. I mean, it was a good experience.
Noel, 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 Noel. Yesu mekwisa kuzinga Tibeto. Noel, 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 Noel. Yesu mekwisa kuzinga Tibeto.
It's not that he demands it from us, it's just he wants us to be the best we can be, so he pushes us to excellence. And I'm pretty sure that sums up TBC. Yep. Great cry ever.
Stripes
What we try to do with the Texas Boys Choir is to put the boys' interests first.
Just keep the tradition going, and of the boys' sound that you don't hear that much.
To sing at such an extraordinary caliber of artistry and musicianship, it is so rare.
And I think, you know, it channels that energy, and it keeps them focused on something that's good and positive and important in their lives.
Even just to be a part of it is really amazing.
It's a difficult thing to have a boy that's 5th or 6th grade ready to sing professionally and tour professionally. That's a hard animal to build and have.
He can take them from singing this extremely complicated piece of work that a lot of adults couldn't do to doing something that's just fun and entertaining.
People don't always see that side of it. They see us in concert and they think, wow, that was a really nice concert. It was a good choir. And people don't always see the path that the choir has to go down in order to get there.
The Boys Choir was started in 1946 by a gentleman called George Bragg. And shortly after it was formed, he realized that in order to get a larger pool of talent, because they wanted to have a world-class boy choir, not just a community boy choir, but a world-class boy choir, he said to do that, we must find a larger metropolitan area. And so the decision was to move to Fort Worth, and that's where the boy choir has been ever since. Fort Worth has had a long-standing tradition of respect for the arts and support for the arts, and so it was a good fit. They rehearse every day for 2 periods, and when we go on tours, we take their academics with us. People say, oh, it must be fun to tour during school. Well, yes, but they still have to do homework.
Touring is so fun. Touring is what these kids look forward to.
Tour is
Awesome.
awesome, right?
It's awesome. You get to see just cool stuff like St. Louis, the Arch.
Sometimes that would be a performance at a college campus on their concert series. It can be something like a movie premiere that we've done in the past.
We went to a movie premiere in Austin. That was, I think, the first big thing that I went with them for, and we were singing the music for the background.
We've had invitations to come sing from far away as China and Canada.
In very prestigious places like Carnegie Hall, the Basilica in St. Louis, we've toured all over the nation.
And then we also recorded with Kirk Franklin. It was really cool. He was really nice, and he was just like an ordinary guy.
We put forth probably around 250 hours of rehearsal before we get to go on tour and perform these pieces.
This is not just music. It's social, it's community, it's belonging, and when children are involved in these types of activities, that keeps them from making other choices, which are not necessarily positive. And so it's a way of helping just to focus positive energy in their lives. These boys will look back years from now, and they will cherish all those weddings they had to sing on Saturday. They'll cherish all those extra rehearsals they had. Those are the things that are filed away in their lifelong memories. And that's why I believe people see that and they say that's important. We want to support that. So what I'm trying to do is to identify patrons that understand that the boys really are approaching this world-class caliber of performing. My whole idea here is, what if we took the boys and we sang these works that were originally written for boys and have them accompanied by the original instruments at the original pitch? For example, Bach would have used boy sopranos in his soprano section, not women. Many of your modern recordings are women and men, which stands to reason because there's not a lot of boy choirs. But if you're going to record something, it needs to add something both musically to the mix and also historically. And this is where the boys can sing these historic works as a historic ensemble, because boys today sound like the boys did 500 years ago. You're going to have that type of sound. Now you're looking at something that's worthy of being recorded. I just want the boys to achieve their best potential. And if they do that, it's going to be world class because they have that capability within themselves. It's just, how can I get that out of them? And so that's what the Legacy Project's about. We're hoping we will have people that identify with that. You know, long after I'm gone, long after they may be gone, these are the things that remain. That's why it's called a legacy. And I think that would be a brilliant way for people to say, I want to invest in this. I want to help carry out this tradition that's been going for hundreds of years, help it get into the next century.
I really think it's for a great cause to give these opportunities and these privileges to these young men to be a part of this organization.
Fort Worth has always been a city that supports the arts and loves the arts, and the Boys Choir have been supported by the Arts Council and by Fort Worth over the years, and we just need to keep that going and make it even stronger and stronger.
You know, you have to have a balance, and even though there are lots of needs in the community, sometimes you need something that's artistic. You know, it brings joy and it brings contentment, and I think that's important that balance be there.
Because we want to do what's going to make the boys survive not just now, but for the years ahead.
I feel like a lot of what I've learned from the choir is going to stick with me for the next, 30 or 40 years, the rest of my life, and it's going to help me learn even more about what I want to do and who I want to be.
I would definitely recommend this to any young boy who wants to join the choir, because they will not regret it. They will not regret it for their life.
I think they offer hope to the boys, and I think they also can offer hope to an audience. You know, that an audience can come and see and hear such beautiful music. I think it lifts the spirit.
You know, it's something that we just have to maintain and make sure that this continues to go for another 100 years.
It's an amazing environment where the kids all love what they're doing, and you can see the excitement and joy on their faces. I think that's what it's all about.
If you think you might want to support the Boys Choir, come hear a concert, and you'll be sold. You'll be sold.